After gaining prominence with Money, First Sermon, Second Sermon, Koku the Traveler, and then Soldier, Black Sherif has released his debut album, The Villain I Never Was. And so we are seated to have a conversation on that. I am Benefo Boabin Abrantipa, and this is eForum on GhanaWeb TV. Thanks for joining us, and joining me on this episode, I have Wei Ye Oteng. Wei Ye Oteng is a music producer, a sound engineer, very renowned and revered personality in the arts and entertainment industry. Oteng, welcome.
Thank you, my brother.
You see, the first time I heard of his name, I thought I didn't know it was coined from your real name, DJ Ashmen. Saba Pawe, and you be we are singing Nkofone yo modiano cry. They don't have our non-kwa or Ashmen. Yeah. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, bro.
And then he's a fan of Black Sherif and the host of Friday debates or sports debates on GhanaWeb TV. Joel Ishon, thanks for joining us. One person I admire most in the industry. It's the second time I've met him. The first time we met at Kwesi Arthur's album launch and listening. Maybe if you're a show near man. Aha. No, to me, if you're already be family, you know the kofa or no say him. Who say yeah. OleleSalvador. Sally, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Now, Richard Kingston, the NBN. What's your industry?
I used to actually keep in school.
Okay.
That was how I actually got it, because I'm a goalkeeper in school. So, okay. Well, they thought I was that good enough to be called goalkeeper. But now I keep, the culture.
Okay. That's nice. Welcome, gentlemen, to the studio. So, let's begin the conversation quickly. What would be your initial comments on the Black Sherif album? What's in?
I think Black Sherif, a great guy, a newbie who is trying to carve a niche for himself. I always say his first album is his 20 years life being put together. So this is a test line for him to showcase and exhibit what he has experienced over the years. And I call this his personal album because everything is about him. Yeah, everything is about him. He spoke about himself from A to Z. His experiences, what he's gone through, his feeling, what he possesses, the energy, the feeling, everything, is all about him. So I would say this is the Black Sherif album, something for himself. But I also believe that everybody who has similar situations can also relate. If you feel you're blessed, if you feel there's an anointing on you, there's an oil on you, you can relate. If you feel you've lost somebody, you can relate. If you feel snitches shouldn't come around you, you can relate. Wherever you find yourself, if you want to be part of that album based on your experience, if you share something together, I believe you can also relate. So this is an album for him, but we as a people, it's something made for the industry. So we will always see where we also can relate, enjoy, and push, a young visionary to become a household name, because obviously the music industry in Ghana need more at the top than just one top. So
let's settle on the concept of the album and then the artwork, the cover art. Is it what you expected, or you think it could be better? Let me ask Olele on this.
Thank you. So, for me, pretty much, we've seen the kind of person Black Sherif is. If you see the kind of pictures he takes and the kind of fashion he's in, involved in, a bit quirky, not too conventional. Many have argued that if it was Kwame Eugene who was dressing that way, there would be chaos in the space. But I think it's not really loud out there because Black Sherif has been able to own that kind of style. So it fits him, it suits him, and the kind of music he's done lets you know that he's a misfit. right from the onset, you know that this guy is not here to be a part of where we want to put him. He wants to set his own pace and run his own race. And so I wasn't too surprised when I saw promotional pictures that led to the final artwork. And if you look at the artwork, it looks like, I don't know how to explain this in the, I can't find the words to explain it, but I think it's more of an artist that feels like he's lonely, you know, even though he's achieving all those things that he's been able to achieve. And you look at the reverence and lighting of the artwork, it's like there's so much noise, there's so much, you know, pandemonium out there. People are literally cheering him on and everything, but within himself, when the lights go dim, it's just him alone as Kwaku Frimpong in there. And this is the same Kwaku Frimpong that has been chastised, lambasted, you know, all sort of things have been said about him. And to go with the album title, The Villain I Never Was, matches that kind of art direction they were able to achieve with the artwork. But for me, if you ask me, I know that there's a lot of people who like to focus on the artwork. I feel like the artwork is just supposed to add to the aesthetics of your project or your album. But for me, what I was looking forward to is the content of the project. And I don't really like to place a lot of emphasis on the fact that, because you can have a great artwork and the quality or the content is nothing to talk about. So I just sit down and I look at the artwork as though he had a good team that sat down together. I'm sure David Nikose and the rest of the team at Park Studios were all part of the direction, and they were able to bring out that kind of artistic side of Black Sherif. So all things being equal, unless the art directors come and tell us why they shot the way, because you don't want to misinterpret. You know, you can only guess, but you can't really misinterpret what the art director is responsible for the direction, you know, in terms of the album art.
Ashmen, you agree with that?
Oh yeah, to a larger extent I agree. You know, Black Sherif, from the first single that he drops, the attitude he came with, we all use a guitar and a knife and not much anything, and everybody was talking about it, but all of a sudden, like I said, it became calm, trying to send a certain message across. So per the artwork and all that, I agree with that one.
The songs on the album, which, I mean, he has said that is the album is his autobiography. Which of the songs would you say you gravitate towards the most?
Well, the Konongo Zongo song.
Okay.
Yeah, I like Konongo Zongo. You know, I see this Black Sherif album like Obrafo's Paimuka. You know, when Paimuka came, that's 99. The youths then, you know, we all jumped to the song. Though it wasn't the club banger where we were playing it in the club, bang, bang, dope. Yanum was there. But most of the songs were like in the car music. And you just nod your head to the sound. This album have the same feel. If you check most of the songs, from the beats, though the beat is not the same, but you find similarities in the songs. And the message is trying to send across. I know Obrafo's manager is here. You will not
when you mention it, I was about to say Obrafo's
manager is here, but
I didn't want
taking my mind back to 22 years, 23 years ago when Yanum came out. The feel. Some people were like, Obrafo, and you being what's this? It took time. We understood what Obrafo was trying to send across. The message is where he's tackling like the situation on the ground and about himself on that album. So with this Black Sherif album, myself, I feel like that's how I see it. I like Konongo Zongo and the reggae song on the album. Basically, I like 2 songs on the album, apart from the one with Burna Boy. But the reggae, and I forgot the title, but Konongo Zongo, I go for Konongo Zongo.
The reggae could be either Toxic City or 45.
I like those two. Oh, Paradise is not bad, but also could be our Don't forget me. Don't forget me.
But Toxic City also has
a bit of a...
That song was he said that song was produced in the UK.
I think that would be
by London.
Okay.
By London.
That sound also has this island you know, Jamaican touch. When you listen to Toxicity, the way he sings on it, and that's why I feel like Oteng said, it is an album that gives us the opportunity to appreciate Black Sherif as an artist. And I heard him on an interview with Apple Music where he says that the reason why he decided not to feature anyone was because this is his first project. He wants you to know him better. He wants you to know that when you put me in any genre, moving forward. So in the future, if anybody, because we see Burna Boy doing songs with the Asherans, we see Burna Boy doing songs with Madonna and the likes. I'm thinking, okay, this is Black Sherif's thoughts, that once upon a time, a big artist could come from anywhere in the world and say, I want to do a song with this guy because I've heard him do a song like this. Kiddy is blessed with Mavado. He tells us on the Twitter space that on his album, the Golden Boy album, I've forgotten the name of the song. It was a reggae song. Mavado heard that reggae song on that album, and then reached out that he wants to do a song with him. So when an artist thinks like this with his first project, it gives you an idea of the journey he's on. Many people, like Ashmen said, I was in the 90s. I wasn't around when Paimuka came. So I mean, obviously we grew to listen to Paimuka. I wasn't around when Paimuka came, so I won't be able to tell you what the energies were like. But for Black Sherif, the reactions are mixed. Some say, "Oh, I'm already. A Black Sherif is not giving us a Black Sherif we know him from first and second sermon, you know." But interestingly, after a few days, people are now coming back to say, "Ah, you know what?
The songs are
actually good."
Yeah.
You get, because there are 14 songs. You can't obviously like every song on the album, you know. But at every point in time, and like DJ Ashmen said, when you are driving and you put the album on shuffle, the kind of songs that, I don't know whether it's an algorithm thing, I don't know, but the kind of songs that play, it gives you the opportunity to reflect, because everybody may have lost a loved one. Everybody thinks like they are the prodigal son. You know, everybody thinks that they are the breadwinner. They need to. So there's a song in there for everybody, and that is what I want to big up the team for selecting the songs. I'm not too sure if the 14 songs were just the 14 songs. I'm sure there were other songs, but the team responsible for selecting the songs to help shape the image of Black Sherif for his first album. It's a big plus. In
his interview with NYDJ, he mentioned that O Paradisi was actually a song that there was contention over
to choose
whether or not it has to be part of the album. But Oteng, is it his reason for not featuring any artists on his maiden album?
He has Burna Boy on.
No, I mean apart from
so just say apart from.
So apart from Burna.
Yeah.
And that was actually a remix. So
still doesn't matter. It's on the album.
Yeah. Okay. You think it's a good one? That every artist who at a point or at the initial stage of their career gains prominence needs to imitate.
Okay, so there are twists to this. First of all, you need to know who you are. You need to know your backing to take certain decisions. If you are personally investing in yourself, my brother, you don't take chances. Whatever chance Black Sherif took, he took that chance knowing the kind of backing he has, and he knows it's not going to hurt him. You understand? But if you and your friend, your brother, some man who believed in you, some man your sister went to speak to come and invest in you, you realize that you do not have room to even make the slightest mistake. So you would go all out to make sure that you tap in every aspect of the industry or into a certain audience to make sure that you are well vested and grounded, and that hit is certain. Black Sherif has had a certain direction over the years. Now, there's a difference in lyrics and beats. They come together to make that music. So now let me take you back a little to tell you Black Sherif. He started with something which was trap. At that moment, trap beat was the ish. So lyrically, I do not care. Once it's something that is on trends, as soon as it steps in, it's part of the pack, so I enjoy. Now, Black Sherif comes in as part of the pack, but what does he do? He does not move on the path the boys are moving. He starts off on a trap with high life melodies. Now, as a people, these are the choice of melodies and pitches that we grew on. So naturally, when you hear high life melodies, irrespective of who you are, you feel connected to it so quick, and you would want to listen again.
He even called it trap high life at some point.
Yeah.
Exactly. So you see, the high life melody that he dropped on that trap made that magic for him. Just like Reggie dropped hip life, you know, on a mixture of hip hop and, you know, drop something on it. It was still a bit of alien to the people. Now, Obrafo came in with those same choice of beats, dropped typical chi with proverbs on it, and everybody felt like, we all go fit do one. Why? Because we are listening to something we can relate to that we can also do. So automatically the hit is assured. And that made him stand out from the lots like the Amarados and all those guys. Because the choice of melodies. I once said this at TV3 that Black Sherif, if he is to stay true to his native by maintaining the choice of high life melodies he plays on the kind of beats he gets, he is going to be unbeatable. Because that is what identity. Why do we see Burna Boy like the thing? Because he has a certain identity. But when you are backed by a label, now it's not just about you or what you feel you can do, but it's about what the label believe they can sell to the world. So if you listen to his previous songs that made him, on this album, there was nothing like that. So even if you go online, Black Sherif is being identified as an R&B hip-hop artist. And that is the level or the trend that his record label is trying to tilt him towards. That's their money. That's their problem. That's what they want at the end of the day. So
he said he's doing high life, like his foundation is high life, and
that is what I'm saying. That his first albums, every music, there are two things that identifies music. The melodies you put on, and the instrumentation you also add to the melodies. Lyrics does not matter. Lyrics is being interpreted by the choice of melodies. That is the reason why when Beenie Man writes on a certain beat, you might think that, oh, he's doing reggae, or he's doing dancehall, or he's doing R&B, and you understand. So he started with something which we all fell in love with, because trust me, we didn't love Black Sherif because he was one Konongo boy who just came and no. We loved him because he was giving us something that the ear has been missing for so long.
It's very unique sound.
Very unique sound. Check out the pitch. I mean, lovely enough. There wasn't too much of an auto-tune, so we could feel the personality, the voice, and everything on the beat, and it was wow. So even on his on this new album that he had, The Old Paradise, you know why it's catching up with people so much? The song that he sang for the girlfriend is because of the choice of melodies. The lyrics is there, all right, but the choice of melodies, sometimes when you have the right choice of melodies that relate to the people, and you have an instrumentation which backs the mood at which you want to express those melodies on, naturally the system relates to it. Once you move away, you'll be somewhere and all of a sudden you are humming to that feel and you ask yourself, I need to look for this song, and you start humming to people that you want to find. It's because within your DNA, that thing is there. So Black Sherif had that one on the song that he did for Old Paradise, which was meant for the girlfriend. And now, Charlie, it's even scary because anytime something happens to somebody on TikTok and even funerals, that is the...
They are shooting TikTok challenge
videos with them.
Yes.
Joe, so have you seen any of them?
Yeah. They're shooting Asantua.
I've seen Asantua. I've seen a couple, like 5. Yeah, but me, I think that song is my best on the album.
Okay.
Because I like those kind of songs that you dedicate it to your loved one. So all the artists I like in Ghana, my greatest song is the one that Iluma did for his ex-girlfriend in secondary school. You go abroad, I like the one Tupac did for his mother. And then this, I don't know if you can get the one who sang I Drop in a Mind for his brother's wife. I like those kind of songs because it tells you something like that's fine. That's but it's not all of them that is basically maybe your loved one or something.
Just a quick one. Do you like it because of the storytelling?
Yeah, I like
because of the dedication.
See, he spoke about the beat, for the Old Paradise, the beat, because that was the first song I listened on the album because I think I was in a car and somebody was playing before I got to the office. So that was the first song I listened when I put on my machine. But I also like dedication, like being appreciative, whatever the person did for you. So that's why I mentioned Tupac, the Mama, Amachi, Daddy Lumba, Teresa. I like those guys. And then if you've lost anybody in your life, sometimes you sit back, maybe somebody you promise. For me, when I listen to the song, it's my grandma. So because of maybe the things I promised to do for her, but I didn't even finish secondary school, and then
she passed.
Yeah, she passed. So when you have those connections, and then for Sherif, there is a guy in our office who, when the album first came, normal like tag the we for you so like I think what was that? I think on Monday, this guy came to the office and then
he was singing.
He was singing.
On this question,
he said, nah, like he listened to just one song and then it's like the album.
Something needs to motivate you. When it comes to albums, something needs to motivate you. At a point, looking at where I'm coming from, at a point, I find the album a bit dissatisfying to the public because there was at a point that the vocal words was getting a bit overboard, and I asked myself, with a record label like Empire, that's a shame because why? When you are attached to a record label, most songs comes in two, especially if you have words that are not clean. You know, to the extent of going the P, U, what, and SH, what. I think it was getting too much. And these things needs to be controlled. It's a new generation, new school. This is what we like and all that.
He says he's unfiltered. He says it's as it is.
You see, as much as you want to unfilter something, know which people you're sending that to.
So would it have been okay for you if he had released edited versions and then
it's being done actually now all over the world? It's being done.
I want to believe there's a clean.
It's being done.
Because
if it's a clean version, if there is a clean version, I mean, when you go streaming the album, you should find the cleaner version.
That's one thing.
DJ Ashmen.
That's one thing Ghanaian musicians or Ghana music is lacking. You know, when you put your songs on the DSPs, you can put your clean versions and your raw versions, and you have two streams.
Okay.
Sometimes you have child lock on your phone. Maybe you want to listen to some songs. The clean ones can even be directed to them.
No, it's just like YouTube. Sometimes when you go and you want to open something, they say confirm if you're 18.
Yes. So it can be directed to them. But here is the case. Even most of our big artists before Black Sherif have this issue.
Yeah,
and
but let's be very honest. Black took it to a notch higher. To just mention that PU, yo, that is extreme. Imagine if you have a child in the car.
A big brother doing more.
You see, we keep attributing stuff to somebody did this. It takes one person
to
change a whole narrative. So, and you know the beauty of these things. At a point, High Life wasn't too popular in our own place where we are trying to find a genre for ourselves. Guess what? A lot of people were also trying to do it. R2Bs did it, and High Life gained. It went down again, and then Stonebwoy did it, and then it get. Do you know what that means? It means if we really had a structure, and we are to put certain people together, and tell ourselves that now this is the narrative, and this is what we're selling to the world, we will make that impact.
It's an agenda, like
exactly. So you see, it's not about somebody is doing, so Black is doing, and it's fine.
I understand.
You can have a beautiful album and everything, but just one thing can discourage so many people from following that dream. And our part of the world, Charlie, as much as we're thinking whatever we're thinking, we still have culture, we still have values. It will never leave us.
You know what I think though? I just to buttress what you're saying, I think it's how Black Sherif entered the system. Because he has a song like Money. When you listen to Money and you look at Black Sherif today, there is no relationship whatsoever. But when you look at Black Sherif and listen to first sermon, second sermon, there is this image of a radical boy. You even have,
I'm not going, and he said it in, I think, 45, that I'm not doing what they wanted me to do.
You know, so I feel like
I understand perfectly. It's not about doing what people want you to do. It's about doing what you want to do. Because at the end of the day, you are doing something, but unfortunately, not for yourself, but for the people who has developed love in you.
So we need a clean and the raw
talking about the clean versions.
But at the end of the day, even no matter what you're doing for yourself, if our censorship boards were working, just like the Socrates and all that are review movies before it comes out, do you think stuff like this will come out on just the raw version? It wouldn't. You would have censored it first, and then have the explicit.
You know the clean version, this song Alcohol, that Nigerian song. When they send the DJ's copy, there was no alcohol in that song. And I met one of the managers. I was asking Charlie, what's up? He said they won't make them play them a song for the Arab countries.
Area codes by Ludacris. Codes. I mean, you know, it was for Russia. Even that song, because it was talking about titties and all those things. We have a version that there are screams, this, that, some kind of fancy things.
We have DJs
kind of like black those things
like
out.
franchise pools where we download clean songs from. And if you put your songs there, recently I've seen most Ghanaian songs there, and they are not clean.
Wow. So that means you as a DJ or as DJs would have to go through the painstaking process.
I have a friend at YFM DJ.
But it's not up to the DJ.
That's what I'm saying.
We need to have a censorship board that says that. We are not saying don't do this because there are people who are above the threshold of 18 and are ready to consume anything. Just like we say alcohol. Why do we say alcohol shouldn't be promoted during daytime? Because we know a certain target are available and are vulnerable to watch these things, and we don't know what they might copy. Even that Nukrapan is half-half. Whether they copy or not to copy, they said do not. Because that censorship board is active. So obviously we need to.
I'm curious to ask, because you are a studio engineer, right?
Right.
And forgive me if I
go ahead.
The clean versions, how is it done? Does the artist have to be raw, and then you as an engineer, you take
brother, it's very, very simple. In the studio, we have everything in front of us. So if it's this dress that you're wearing, we have the button here, we have the collar here, we have the thread.
So it's not
we have the
difficult for an
material.
artist to get a clean.
It's just a matter of
when they are just alcohol, they just spew what they want.
And it's either I put a sound on the alcohol, so when it gets to the alcohol, I can just put like a glass sound theme on it, or I just can reverse it. I just can, you know, put like a shout there to give it that flavor and feel.
It's the work of the studio engineer.
Yes. No, it's not the work of the studio engineer. It's the work of the artist authorizing the studio engineer to get that done, because you see, you come and do your project, and this is how you want it. It's not up to me because I'm not a censorship board, and I don't know where you're taking your.
Do you at a point suggest to the artist that
like, you need
this
to do
is too raw? I need your permission to take these things out.
Way back, when the likes of the Zap Mallets and all those people were working in hand with the big bands and all that. You know what? The big bands went into the studio to pay the producers. You, the artist, yours is to just go and sing the song. It's up to the producer and the executive, the technical producer and the executive producer to come and say that with what we have invested in, this is not what we want our people to consume. So we will not turn your thing upside down, but what we feel is not right in there, we will have it changed because there is a culture backing the whole thing. So me as a producer, I am paying to do my job. But I can advise you, oh Charlie, I think, oh, let it go because the youth loves it. Have you even realized that lately, people take, I will say this, Familia is my guy. I reach out to him any day, I post him anytime. But I saw Familia take a picture with DCOP or COP, forgive me if I'm wrong with the title, Kofi Boakye. And guess what? Familia give the middle finger, taking a picture with him.
Oh, how?
That is the pause, because you, young chaps lately, we post anyhow. We post anyhow. But you see, this is something that even in America, it's not. It's not. You can't just be doing that because it sends a strong language and signal about who you are. So if tomorrow we need somebody to come and advise kids as to how they need to live their life, based on the preference and what you're doing, it will be very difficult because you are contrary to what we want you to preach. Now, so sometimes these things goes a long way to hurt us, but when we're starting, we feel this is us, this is our turf. The choice of people we are doing this song for, this is how they behave. So let's tap into them. You can still tap into them and be reasonable. Because when big men were hailing Obrafo for his choice of words when it comes to music, he was way younger than they thought he was. So I think we can always make that change.
Let's move to how the album is doing after its release. The reception that the album has received. You have mentioned which one did you say is your favorite?
Paradise.
What do you like about the album?
I think that generally I like Sherif because he's going like a different way. When he was coming up, you know, he was following the drill beats, but now he's going a different way, a bit of high life. And when you listen, no, I'm not saying he's doing high life. The beat,
he's not even going there.
Yeah, but if you listen to the album, it's like he's giving you a bit of everything. So the other day
he's not giving you a bit of everything. Let's clarify it right. Black Sherif's album is not giving us a bit of everything. When you say a bit of everything, what is a bit of everything?
But there is a bit of reggae in it.
And then
you get that's what I'm saying now. Because the old Paradise song, you hear those high life melodies in it.
Continue. No, I don't want.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So I like that song. Me as a fan, almost every song on that album is good for me because aside the.
So you're talking as a fan.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Oh, I introduced him as a fan of Black.
So
we hail you, sir.
So if you remember when Omar Sterling releases rap album, that's I've forgotten the name. I think this year so far.
Yeah, that was March, April.
Yeah, so far is the only Ghanaian album I've listened like this year. I can listen like first to the last song on the album. It's that good. And I made reference to the Omar Sterling album because for a very long time it has been the only Ghanaian album that even up to date I can listen to like track 1 to the last one without skipping any song on it. So I think that it's good. It's not your normal danceable song, but when you are in your room doing your own things and all that.
Olele, have your expectations been met with the album?
Expectations. Did I have expectations? That's the question. Because I listened to Second Summer when it came out. I listened to First Summer when it came out. Then I listened to Gogo the Traveler. I'm like, okay, what's wrong with you, boy? What you doing? Like, what are you trying to do? Then I listened to Soldier. I'm like, okay, what's going on? So the trend made me feel like, okay, Soldier wasn't a song that he was doing looking for another hit. And I think I did an article on that. He did Soldier to more or less, you know, be the taste maker for his own album. So then I'm like, okay, when the album comes, I'm just gonna have an open mind to receive it, because he's a new artist. This is his first work, and it would be so. When I saw people actually rating the album on first, second listen, I was wondering how people listen to albums, because people listen to Lauryn Hill's album to date, and they still like you get it. So when I see people listen to album, I'm like, how do you listen to an album?
But there's one thing I want to chip in real quick. That is, we have two types of listeners.
Right.
We have those who know your personality and want to listen to what you're going to say.
Right.
And we have those who are moved by what they hear. So if the beat, know the beat. Not saying the beat.
And that's how I felt. That's how I felt on the first listen. And that's why I said.
In fact, I heard comments
and the crazy part is they start to get into it by the influence of other people. Consistent, airplay can influence their thoughts. And consistent, peer pressure as to how everybody is jamming to it. It goes like, tell everybody like.
And people want to say something. You see, because I spent a lot of time. People want to say something. Like, people actually stayed up to 12 a.m. to listen to the album, to be the first to say, Charlie, this album the beat, or this album no the beat. But I realized the same people, after they had actually taken their time to listen to the album, now they are finding things about the album they didn't find in the beginning. And that is why I hope and pray that the Ghanaian listener will move away from just being a reactionary listener, because maybe Obrafo did a hit song, so you expect
expectation does that to people all the time.
Because if that's not the case, we would actually kill our stars before they become stars. We'll actually kill their projects before they become, like today talking about Masterlin, right? And his rap album. Someone will listen to album and tell you that but arguably that rap album this year is arguably the best Ghanaian project this year. The last one I could think of is Kwesi Arthur's Live from Nkrumah, where when Kwesi Arthur dropped another album, now Ghanaians were saying, no, Kwesi Arthur, we want that rap album. We don't want this soft Kwesi Arthur. Do you get it? So I was looking at Black Sherif as an artist who is trying to either please the fans or stay true to himself, like Oteng said. And that's one of the most difficult things when it comes to music and show business, especially in this country. Because I take a typical example as EO, right? When EO came commercially with Kalu and Obumona and all those things, people registered EO as that guy for such songs. When EO decided to be the true artist that he was, he started fading out. People were asking questions. Oh, Charlie, forgive us, Kalu. But you see, EO will tell you that is the most difficult thing of being an artist, not just in the country, but anywhere, because now you've been able to spread your wings. You've given the people what they want. Now you want to do what you want. If you're not careful, you go broke.
Ashmen, some have said this should have been an EP and not an album. What do you say to that?
But me, that EP and album things, what do they mean?
Extended.
I understand all that. I understand all that. Well,
it's more than 5 songs.
It's more than 5
songs. So it goes beyond an EP.
Okay.
So it's an album for me. My only problem with this album being sound.
Do you like the theme? Okay, the sound. I wanted to pick Oteng's, but I mean, once you have mentioned it, let me stay on you. The sound.
To be honest, Black Sherif's sound.
When you say sound, are you talking the mastering or
the mastering?
Okay, all right.
Just the mastering is all about production, right? Okay. Technical integrity. Sound as a DJ, and even with my woofers in my room when I'm playing this album, and even with other sounds, my speakers know they cry for me like I expect. Because Black Sherif have a big record label now, so and that record labels who have big artists from other places.
But sometimes you ask yourself, what is the contract? What does it state?
Okay, I'm not there, but
exactly,
so
because
like,
that too can influence as to what you bring.
I'm talking like a DJ who I tune sound.
Yeah.
The sound of the album. I think with the
DJ who plays.
You play sound, sorry.
You don't choose.
Okay, I tune sometimes on my mixer.
No, but you are playing.
Okay, cool.
Oh no, I think I give it.
That's his thing.
Okay, that's it. I with sound, I think this album is not for me like that when it comes to sound. Yeah, because I was expecting that huge sound. I can feel it. Say, yo, if hip hop. One thing about hip hop people don't know, a sound though. Sound.
It's a drum,
you know.
Yeah.
Hip hop. Even a high life crash. So that's basically sound. And you be a sound on that, like it moves us. So with this particular album, my problem with it is the sound. Yeah, I think
if you may, before you actually
before Oteng comes in.
He mentioned O Paradise being the first song he listened to, right? And that more or less registered his affection
and
for the album.
Yeah.
And as a fan.
Yeah.
But for you, as a studio producer, as engineer, why would you put a song like O Paradise in an album?
Well, I think as a Ghanaian, as a music lover and a producer, that song is beautiful. Why? The element, shout out to Sam Snare. I mean, great production. The element and everything in there, even though it had traces of trap, but all the sprinkles that was on it was beautiful, and it resonates with what we know him for. That is the first and the second sermon with the choice of melodies,
the passion,
the pitch, the mood and everything. So that piece alone is something that resonates with who we know him for, who we want to hear him, you know, in our ears. Yeah, so to me that's about it with that sound, and aside that, the other ones are on its own. That's what I said, that when you even go online, they classify him first as an R&B artist before a hip-hop artist. It's not because of anything, but it's because most of his sounds are dominated with R&B melodies. So obviously you don't expect them to put you anywhere different from what you have been given.
Continue to start from the sound.
The sound.
The sound.
Okay, so Black has been one very lucky guy. Sometimes we only think it's the song or the beat that blows people, but shout outs to Siddiq and his team. Kweku the Traveler would never have been bigger without the performance. As much as videos make songs, videos do kill songs. So sometimes you might have a great song, and when you feel you don't have to shoot a video for it, my brother, don't. Allow the song to fly. Because if you try don't prepare a meal for me to eat, and once I buy and I start I'm eating and you go say, oh, that's why don't.
So what are you saying, that the explanation behind
that they were giving for the video, to me it never made sense.
So you would have watched the video like the way it was?
No. If the video had been the justification for the song, it would have never been a hit.
Okay.
The hit was actually like exploded by
the performance,
that stage performance with the rain.
That's true.
Because that caught up with the trend, and everybody started, following, and then Nigeria everywhere.
That's true.
So for that video, don't do a song and come and tell me why you have this video.
Let's go back to the sound of the album.
So Black has been very lucky when it comes to the positioning and the choice of people that have fallen in love with him and are constantly trying to maneuver their ways to make sure that every bit and piece of something that he has, gets to the people right. For the sound, I'm not impressed. I'm not impressed. Production-wise, I'm still not impressed. Why? We have very good producers on the thing, but you see, most Ghanaian producers, we have a problem, and until we stop, it would never go. They were doing that to Sarkodie, and they've been doing that to everybody. So Sarkodie make a hit with a certain sound, and every producer wants to play along the same sound for him, because I don't want to. I don't want to be produce something else. Maybe he might not like. But there was a point where Sarkodie was tilting himself towards a certain sound, and I felt like, no, I did Warrior Song with him with KK Fosu, and everybody went crazy because we do not know Sark for that thing. As producers, let's challenge these artists. Let's constantly bring out some part of them that they never even expected existed in them. But for this album, dear producers, you did good. I mean, the 808s and all those, I mean, great. But it's the lyrics that drives me. It's not the beat. Because me as a producer today, if you give me the opportunity, there are most of the songs that I would really take out some few things and, you know, add a couple of things and remake and make sure that, you know, everybody, every part is having, you know, what, as much as it's not only the voices, the lyrics that moves people, you need to be also concerned about the choice of beat, because sometimes somebody will dance with your beat today, tomorrow dance with it, tomorrow, the third day when he's not dancing, he will be listening and he will be consuming the words on that beat. So with the beat, with the production wise, production was good, but I felt the similarities was too much. Sound wasn't the best.
Well,
sound,
I mean, not to catch you, but if it's a hack, they say you don't fix what's not broken, right? I look at a case study, a proper case study is Kiddy and Kwame Eugene. When Kiddy came into the system, his first hits, second hit, third hits, it's like the similarity of the instruments were the same.
Yeah, the same.
Kwame Eugene, the same. Kwame Eugene said that, I've forgotten the song. Is it Angela? There was a song he did after Angela that said it was a part 2. I've forgotten the song. God help me. But I don't know if you guys know. You do Confusion. Confusion. Thank you. Kwame Eugene said Confusion was a part 2 of Angela, and it sounded the same thing, right? And it made him big. So my question is, at what point does the artist say, okay, you know what? Let me put aside the hack and challenge myself on another beat, because the people know me to do this kind of music anyways.
Okay.
You get me? So do you do that at a point where you are rising like a Black Sherif, or you do it when you've gotten to a point of a Sarkodie where you can try and do other beats or other production?
When you're trying to discover yourself, you don't stay in a single lane. When you're trying to discover yourself, you never stay in it, you explore. Pizza will be always pizza. What is the base?
The flour.
Dough.
Dough, yeah.
But what makes it different is we are all, you know, requesting for different toppings. Somebody likes bacon, somebody likes, you know, this ham, somebody likes this, somebody like that. And it's the toppings that makes the dough sweet. It's the dough there is just dough. But the toppings, the kind of things they put on is what makes it sweet. That's why there are so many of this in town. But you know a particular place that you it's the same dough. Why don't you go get it anywhere? Because they are toppings. Oh my God, it's something else. So Black has something, but you can still have the same trap drums, but your choice of strings, guitars, your melodies, your rhythm, and where it's heading towards, the choice of instruments. Because when I listened to it throughout, I was hearing the same thing, 808, almost every song, 808. My God, we have electric bass, we have, you know, flat bass, we have so many type of bass. Why is everybody trying to use 808 for everything throughout? One parts throughout, you know, like, it's not challenging for me. Because if we have variety and we have a lot that we can choose from, let's not get stuck at a particular thing without being innovative. Now I leave that to the discretion of the artist. You got comfortable and used it because you thought that was your comfortable zone, or you wanted to also challenge yourself and say, oh, shall I have this with 808, this with 808? Make we try a different base and see. And I said, no, let's select this, and before they realize, you know, 808. Sometimes that too happens. you know, when you've done things in places, and at a point you feel you need to put them together, back together, no. Then they are also the same thing.
I also think that may be possible if there is pressure from the label to produce a project, you know, because with every contract you sign with the label, there are timelines, you know. So if
but then who is his creative manager? Because if I am your creative manager, then it will be very difficult for me to sanction this to move out.
But if you listen to Black Hole, the songs were there, he had done them.
So then this boils down to the fact that you know, because to be very honest, if you really, I mean, I don't think, say, if you have 20 materials, you want to sew the same style. And I say, even if you decide to slightly change the style, you will have the same color of button. No, you wouldn't. You make sure that there are some tweaks and changes here that anytime you step out in something new, everybody goes like, oh wow, I like this, or oh wow, I like that. But if not, and we decide to leave it, then obviously we're going to have the same trap, the same 808s, the same strings, you know.
I just feel like it's very difficult being different in this country, even with everything, whether as an artist, whether as a designer. It will take a long time for people to accept.
Black Hole is beyond the industry. You know why?
Does he
because
know that?
he has that backing to flip him out and in anyhow. So now, unlike other artists, I believe Black Hole was doing a world album and not a Ghanaian album. Okay. So if you're doing a world album, then I think you need to take your time and make sure that you give your maiden album to the world, and it will.
So that is why you would suggest that he would do an EP to test the market or test the waters.
I think he had done enough to test the market and the waters.
With just what, 2 singles?
And that guy, you see, that guy is versatile. He's not restricted to anything. When he was doing R&B on this album, it was strictly R&B melodies. When he was doing his high life, you know, melodies and all that, it came out very good. Friday night, so that should even tell you that aspect to you know still existed. So if you have all this, then obviously the artist is not the problem.
Let's wrap up. Rate the album 1 to 10. I'll take everyone.
That's the people's choice.
Okay.
The people love him. He is a sensation of the movement. To the people and the public, I will rate him like 10 over 10. But technically, and as a critic, I will give him 5 over 10.
Okay. Ashmen.
You know, like I said, it's like the Paimuka album I said now. You know, when it was coming out, people were talking about it and pay. So me, with this album rating, I'll give it like 6.
6 over 10.
But when it's sound, good drop, come down past the 6.
The fan of Black Sherif.
My only issue is the arrangement. Like some of the good, like top songs in it, like after 5, like so.
So they should have come earlier.
No.
That's how I.
No. Like no. With a fan, don't.
No, Baba, no.
See, if all sweet now, you go round.
Until
1, 2, 3 now.
There's a possibility so because
rearrange.
Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that because you see when you are listening to the album, you see after 5, after track 5, 2, 10, like
that's where
the heat there is different.
Okay.
Yes, that's why. So I feel like maybe the 5 to 10, it should have at least been 1 like earlier. But I said, but
so 1 over 10. Let's go.
I'll still give him 10.
10 over 10. Or think I am.
No, for a filler, for a feeling filler.
For me, I'll give it 7. For me, the strength for me in the album is the storytelling, which we all know Black Hole to do well with.
Yeah.
And I think he did well with all the songs he was able to put on the album. If you look at even the song titling, I think it was very strategic. And I also want to big up the team for introducing more of the English, side of Black Hole. Apart from O Paradise, where he was really hard on the tree on their account, and I think it's a best way to express yourself, you know, in your art.
If you want to speak to a man,
my brother, let me ask you that you people should stop.
That's what.
You're not going to have
that conversation. We won't finish. We won't finish.
Did you hear this song? Did you understand those words?
No, we didn't.
It was a worldwide hit.
Yeah, but I'm saying
language is not a barrier.
But
when your song is nice, it will fly.
Let's we'll come to that. We'll come to that. So storytelling. I'll give it a song because of the great storytelling in all the songs. Obviously, production Oteng is here, so he's done that. I also want to big up the team or big up the artists for the arrangement of the songs, because like I always say, if you want to listen to an album and appreciate it, when you listen from one to the last song, put it on shuffle, and then let's see how good the album is, because then you see how connected the artist was with every single song, and that's why I give this.
Charlie, and I want to say big ups to all the producers on the album. Sam Snare, Brammy, Joker Nana. Charlie, that guy had most of Joker Nana, and then Litek and then YJ or something.
And there was J5 on that as well.
Great guy.
J5 from the UK.
J5. Yes. Okay, and then London. Charlie, producers, I mean, we have a bigger role to play on such things. So I mean, big ups to them. This be money for them.
Yeah. So Wei Ye Oteng is a sound engineer, music producer. Mefa Obrafo manager and income.
Oh, whatever makes you.
Obrafo was manager, the CEO of Drumline. DJ Ashmen, as the name suggests, he's a DJ. If you want him for your events, you can contact him. Duo Ishan is a journalist and a fan of Black Sherif. OleleSalvador, entertainment journalist. I learned you've moved, true or false?
I should move. Actually, tomorrow will be my last day of city. So.
Oh, okay. So you've moved.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that like some.
OleleSalvador is heading to 3 Music.
Hey.
Yes,
thank you.
Because whole city near
That's it.
Right. So we are not done. Last week I was telling you that Gasmila was having an event at the what's the name of the place again? Alliance Française. That was the Abele Fest, and definitely trust GhanaWeb to be at all these events. We were there, and Doreen Abanima Abaya has everything packaged in Vogue.
It's all fun and love. Can you see that beautiful culture going down? This is the Ga people displaying their culture here at Alliance Française at Abele Festival. It all started with corn to end hunger and to hoot at hunger, but now it's becoming something beautiful. You are seeing something nice, but there's still gonna be more. I'm Doreen, your host for today, and we are gonna be having fun. Stay tuned.
We came here for Gasmela, and we know what he can do, and we know he can do it better than what we know. We expected.
looking forward to?
Oh, actually, the reality that I'm seeing and Afrobeat is fantastic because they are making the youth to mobilize. So whatever they are doing here today, I'm interested.
So this is like a warrior outfit. This is what our Censorship or our warriors wear. And I mean, it's being a Belly Fest. I also wanted to project what Ghana people are and what we stand for and what our roles are. So if you see me in this, I'm here today as a warrior, you know, to prove that, okay, yeah, I mean, Charlie, we also have some amazing warriors and they've done amazing things and there are amazing stories to be told about them. This is called Nyanyana. It cleanses you and it protects you from any outer forces or any bad energy, any bad mouth, anything that somebody will say against you will not work when you have this on. So the Nyanyana piece is a piece that I wear or I introduced into my art like a couple of years ago to project my Ghana people and project the energy that we have in my Ghana culture.
Because I saw the artists on the bill, and then so far they've all delivered so well. I saw Naso on the bill, and she's been here, and Kuku is here. So I'm waiting for Marin for Mario as well. The maiden edition of a Beauty Fest, and it's an honor to be on stage with all these amazing artists. My big brother is Miller, and the moment he called me, I knew I wanted to be a part of this. So the stage was amazing, the audience were awesome, so I had fun. I had a lot of fun.
What inspired your outfit? Like, it's looking good.
I mean, this is obviously a cultural event, so I just had to implement an element of culture, that's an African print, in the pants, you know, the fringes, all of that, just to make it dramatic. Yeah.
Right. Everything that has a beginning has an end. I'm your girl Dorina Barmabaya, and today we spoke to a few and a couple of queen mothers and a king. That means this program wasn't a joke. Our Belly Fest was a blast. We're gonna see you next year. I'm your girl, and I'm out.
Thanks, Doreen, for that report. And this weekend, Abiana is having a concert, Abiana Live. It's happening at the Zen Gardens. Now, Zen Gardens, if you don't know, it's at Laboni. You can just Google and then go and have fun. You know, Abiana is doing a live band. So, we're a live band fan, and for those who will not be able to attend the event, definitely next episode of eForum will come your way with Vogue as we package everything that happened there in 7 minutes. Thank you for watching this episode of E-Forum on GhanaWeb TV. My name is Benefo Boabin Abrantipa.
Remember my trip to SA, right? On my first trip to SA was an invitation from the South African Tourism, and I had an awesome time. If you missed that video, don't forget to go back, watch all my vlogs from SA. I'm going to South Africa for the second time, and the fact that I've been invited for the second time means so much to me. I want to give a big shout out to the South African Tourism for making this experience happen. I want to say God bless you, and to my subscribers, the love and support is real. I want to say I love you all. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Guys, I'm currently at the airport, and it seems as though a lot of people are traveling today. Where are you all going? Going to South Africa for the second time, fully sponsored by the Travel to SA. I'm super excited because this time around I'm going for the DSTV Delicious Festival, and of course you all are coming along. You know how I get excited whenever it's travel, so I'm super excited, and of course I'm going to transfer the smile to you. So here you are. One thing I didn't tell is I'm on a trip with
Girls trip. Guys, Stella is my destiny helper, okay? So when you pray, say extra prayer for this girl. Thank you, Jesus. We blessed, girl. We finna turn up.
Yeah, we just came from Rwanda, and guess what? We are going to SA together.
Double.
So we have about an hour to chill, relax before our flight. So I'm super excited. Are you excited?
I'm over the moon. I'm ecstatic. It is going to be my first time going to SA, but imagine I put up my vision board at the beginning of the year, so everything I put on my vision board is really coming to pass.
So yeah, we are currently at our gate, and this is how it looks like from here. We are currently about to board, and I'm super excited. I got my hand luggage here, and yeah, come let's go. about this trip. Super excited. I can't wait for everything that is in stock for us. I can't wait to see Johannesburg. The last time I came, I experienced Durban, but just a day here in Johannesburg. So I'm super excited. This time around, I'm here to experience Johannesburg itself. So I'll keep you guys posted when I get to the hotel. Let's go, guys.
I'm so happy to welcome you ladies to South Africa, and like you say it in your country, Akwaba.
So guys, this is the first day and they are already spoiling us. We are currently going for a massage, a spa date, and I'm super excited about it. And are you excited?
Yes,
of course.
More than I can't wait to get my buddy rubbed.
I wish we could just fly there. So yeah, we are going there, and of course you all are coming along. So let's I'm going to show you how Johannesburg looks like until we get there. So catch you guys when we get there. Hotel Sky, where we are going to have the massage, and this place is really beautiful, and yeah, this is how it looks like. And yeah.
Oh wow, yo,
wow, this is my first time seeing a robot actually working.
Let's show you how you ask her a question.
So this is another option if you decide to come to South Africa, if you decide to come to Sandton. It is called the Sky Hotel, and this place is really beautiful. Wow, I can't wait to have the spa.
Day spa. So we are here to treat you and give you a nice treat. It's time for La La Land.
La La.
The other one.
So guys, I had a very good massage at the Aspa inside the Sky Hotel, and it was really good. You can tell from my face, I really had a good massage. I think this is a good welcome from the South African tourism. They are doing amazing, and we are currently here in Sandton, still here at the Sky Hotel. We're about to have lunch, and of course you all are coming along. This is my view from here. My plate is also pap. This is how it looks like, and it's made of maize. This tastes like abolo. Yeah, abolo.
No taste. You have
no
taste. To add
yeah,
like the meat filling.
It tastes like it tastes like powdered rice that has been
brown rice.
Yeah, no, not like omutuo. Omutuo, yeah, it tastes like
no taste, but the concept is like abodo. When you buy abodo, you have to buy like the 1,000.
All the meat, yeah, the fish.
you.